Thank you very much. Democracy is a core value that everyone in this chamber shares, and radical local democracy is one of the 4 pillars of the international Green movement. Democracy is a journey. It isn't something you do just once. It is a continuous process of achieving consent to govern. We are lucky enough to have lived so long in a democratic country with its peaceful transfer of power that I worry that many people have forgotten that the peace, freedom, and human rights that we enjoy are the products of democracy, and that undermining democracy places these invaluable things at risk. We live in times where the value of democracy and the legitimacy of its processes are being questioned around the world. Power does not want to hear truth. Power is selective about which people it wants to listen to. Even in the UK, the Conservative government brought in measures on purpose to make it harder for people to vote by requiring ID to vote in UK elections, solving a non-existent problem of fraud, but exacerbating a real and chronic problem of voter turnout. We know who they don't want to listen to. We know this because they refuse to extend the franchise on purpose because they fear the will of the people, where the people include young people and immigrants who've come from certain places or under certain circumstances. I'm very proud that Scotland has updated and expanded the franchise, and that we have this new opportunity to visit and improve our democratic processes. On the journey of democracy, we must always check in and ask ourselves who is getting a say and whose voices are being excluded. One of the big challenges in our democracy right now is that a large proportion of people who have the right to vote do not. One of the purposes of democracy is rebalancing power from those who have it and to distribute it to the people. Who are the people in Scotland? Just those who are able to jump through the hoops of social norms, voter registration processes, getting into a voting station or getting leave from work, or arranging a proxy or postal vote, and now, for UK elections, bringing an accepted form of ID. I have some suggestions for how we can make this easier for people who are allowed to vote, who may wish to vote, but are unable to navigate this landscape. Firstly, it should be an automatic expectation of every high school to support their students of 15 years or older to register to vote. There is strong evidence that people who start voting at 16 and 17 will continue to vote in higher numbers than those who become eligible when they are 18. I am, of course, very grateful to those schools who already do this. Absolutely.
I'm very grateful to Lorna Slater for taking the intervention. We should go one step further than that and suggest that actually automatic registration at, say, 14, 15 should take place. And actually, the obligation, the requirement on the schools is actually to facilitate an understanding of the democratic purpose above what it does already.
Lorna Slater.
Thank you very much for that intervention. I would be very happy to support automatic registration. What I'm not clear on is whether that is fully devolved matter. Automatic registration may not be. If it is, then for Scottish elections, certainly I would approve of automatic registration for young people. You may wish to come in on my next point as well, which is, secondly, there should be a duty on Scottish public bodies to register people to vote when people engage with them. Indeed, the member may point out to me that that should be an automatic registration when people engage with Scottish public bodies, and I would support that. Of course, that needs to be paired with protections to assure people that being added to the electoral register would not bring adverse consequences from public or private bodies, such as being pursued for debt collection. The Scottish Green Group look forward to working with the Minister ahead of Stage 2 on the proposed provisions around disqualification. Safeguarding constituents is obviously a key concern, and the proposed criteria seems like an obvious area for disqualification. We want to make sure that we've fully thought through the detail and potential consequences of creating a power to dismiss those who have been democratically elected by their constituents. But getting all nerdy and technical about elections, election systems and processes is something that the Scottish Greens get very excited about. So we are pleased to participate in this debate today and are very much looking forward to working with the Minister and other members on this bill as it moves forward. Thank you.